All right, welcome back. This is MDawg. We'll try this again. Maybe one of those nights where it's just hard to get a lot of traction. Work is going, but I don't mean I'm actively working, but I'm sort of always on call or often on call and have to take sort of short phone calls and stuff about things. But anyway, I had attempted to start this video and then got like almost immediately interrupted, so I decided to restart. So I mean, I've literally just been fishing here for a couple minutes. Obviously it's still early for bream time. The bite rate right now is insane. We have had 2 over a kilo markers. I am using cottage cheese on 1, pea porridge on the other 2, 10 meter clip on all 3, and that's my story. We're at 2167 again. So I figured we might as well get a little bit more of that bream money. We have, of course, 2 reels that we can try to use to do a little trolling at Kuori and see how it goes. We have I don't even remember. We have the Supercast where if we can find a place to upgrade it, we might upgrade it, but we could use it as real, as is for now, potentially. And we have the Pulsar, which we can use as is. And we'll just see how those feel, trolling Kuori. And I figure we want to at least get a couple episodes in of trying to see what trolling Kuori is like, since we've sort of been building towards that. Past that, I'm not sure how long this leveling series will go. It is very rare when I'm doing one of these leveling series to actually go all the way to Kuori. I think I've only done it maybe once or twice before. Usually I stop the leveling guide before that. Because let's be honest, at this point, you're kind of into mid-game. When you start fishing at Kuori, and you start getting close to Volkov, it's hard to call that beginner anymore. The amount of hours you've put in, the things that you've learned. And to a certain degree, a lot of it is sort of rinse and repeat. But that's not to say that there's a lot of depth to the game and lots of different types of fishing. And some of it you're not going to really get into till you get to higher level because of what it costs. But I tend to have, and others too, more specialized videos on those particular things, not these overall leveling guides. But I think this type of series, hopefully is helpful for folks who are literally just getting started, or maybe have played in the past but took a long break and maybe didn't get that far the first time around. And that's kind of my intent with these leveling series. So, at this point, when we're buying like Supercast and Pulsar, we're trolling at Kuori, we're thinking about saving up for Caliber HSVs. That's getting into some, to me, like some next level stuff. I think I did do one leveling guide where I actually did save up enough to get at least 1, maybe 2 Caliber HSVs. And because I remember we were trying to fish for carp with a Saber 60, and then we got our first Caliber. So, I've done that before, but that is definitely the exception. That is not the normal amount of time that we go with one of these. What are we in? We're in our 40-something episode, I believe, on this thing, which that is a really high number. So, I haven't decided to stop it yet. Like, we're still active. I think we'll at least hit a couple more episodes because I feel like at this point we've been working towards doing some experimenting on Kuori with a little bit stronger gear. We did a little bit, probably 10 episodes ago, 8 episodes ago, something like that, with the current reels we have, and that was obviously not efficient. Not something that I would enjoy doing very much of. But it was good to just experience that and just kind of be reminded. Even with the upgraded Lacertes at 5.5 max drag, you don't want to be anywhere near lake trout and Kuori char and all that stuff. So maybe feeder fishing or doing certain things at Kuori based on what's hot. You could do, like, obviously if bream were hot, or sometimes rough can be good for cafe orders at Kuori. But for the most part, I would say, you know, you at least want that next tier of gear to try to make a go of it at Kuori. So that's kind of where we are. The last thing we need to really put our plan into action at Kuori is to get another thing of braided line. So that's kind of what we're saving for right now. That's why I decided to go for bream, because, hey, one night of bream or even half a night or whatever, I mean, we can probably afford that line. The other thing we might do, if we found somewhere in stock, like if it was in stock at Kuori, maybe we would take the time to upgrade that supercast. But I wouldn't mind trying the stock variety of it first. At 8.5, I think it'd be worth trying. I mean, I know back in the day when I was first getting to Kuori, you know, we would use the like 6.5, 7.5 reels and just suffer a little bit, you know. Just get up on that trolling motor and chase those fish around. I'm telling you right now, the bite rate here is insane. All right, let's see if I can remember what it was that we put in this thing. All right, so whatever the last additive was, I don't have it, I guess. Let's see if I can remember what it was. Peas. So the question becomes, do I run and get peas? I think I want to, because it's not that far. It's still a little early, although the fish are getting big. It's not really early. Maybe we just switch to regular bream ground bait. We haven't really been catching stuff besides bream here. I noticed that some people have occasionally caught like a small common carp or something here. I haven't seen that yet. I'm not saying it won't happen, but primarily this has been a bream spot. Now this is interesting because there is, I think, a cafe order right now for the big ones, but we would need 3 of those. So we need 3 of those that are like up close to 3 kilos. So I don't know if we'll hit that, but we'll see. And that was on cottage cheese, by the way. So if you look at weight, we've only got 1 right now. I think you need 3 of those for the current cafe order. But even if we don't hit that cafe order, we're going to have a pretty decent amount of silver from this. I wanted to go ahead and get this episode in, though, because the servers are coming down tonight. So we've got time to get 1 episode in. And then I'm going to work on some Fisher Online episodes as work allows it as well. Yeah, it just feels like it's going to be a good night of breaming. We'll see. This little 10-meter clip is fun, though. If we get another, like, I'm starting to feel the cottage cheese dough in this spot. I don't know why, but if we get another pretty decent one fairly soon on the cottage cheese dough in the middle, I might switch the right one to cottage cheese as well. So then we would have 2 cottage cheese and 1 pea porridge instead of the opposite. But I just noticed that today, a couple of the big bream have come in on cottage cheese. So it's kind of interesting. The bite rate for both is just insane. see here. I hear you. Just trying to take care of multiple things. That is another pretty nice one. Let's see what size this is on pea porridge. Also pretty good. I think I'm going to switch 2 to cottage cheese though. I mean, this is the smaller hook size. I do have more pea porridge than I do cottage cheese, but we're probably going to Kuori soon anyway, right? Oh, it bounced off. It kind of felt like a small one anyway, but that's still frustrating. Man, doesn't it seem like this is the time we should just... maybe not. Yeah, I think this was a good change. Look, we're already getting a really nice one here on cottage cheese. Oof. Never mind. Put them back on pea porridge, quick. Oh, look how we just turned that head towards us. I don't think it's going to recover. Alright, is this one big enough for the order? No. So we're still sitting at... only one that's big enough for the cafe order. But we are getting some nice bream. Either way. Just ignore that one. Just ignore that one. Yeah, I'm really torn about, like, should we just go get the peas real quick? But I don't want to miss that much of the prime time bream in here, so... Next fish, we gotta switch. The question is, do we want to switch to regular bream mix or make another mix of everything we do have for the bream ultra? I guess we'll just go regular bream. This might mess with the bite rate for a minute. Putting a new ground bait in, we'll see. Oh, look at that. We're almost to 18 already. It's going to be a solid night unless the ground bait change really screws us up. Fish don't like it when you switch ground baits sometimes. Which is a little weird. I mean, we went from a ground bait mix that bream obviously like to another ground bait mix that bream like. But I think there's just something, the way it's programmed, when you switch ground bait, sometimes it just takes a minute to reset. Whoa. I think to have a chance at this cafe order, we would probably need that next one to come in, you know, pretty much now. There's a chance we could get the third one in that like 5 to 7 a.m. time frame, but if we don't have one before that, the chance of us getting both of them then, I don't necessarily love our chances at that point. So 44 fish in 28 minutes. In JSG, got a really nice trophy burbot just now. Grats on that. So that was on Tunguska, I think. $51.8. Really? That's pretty cool. When you can, you know, get some decent Amur catfish or burbot overnight, and then if you're trolling during the day at Tunguska, that can be a pretty deadly combo. Pretty good. What is this garbage? Is that a white bream? Baby bream. We should have a contest for the smallest bream. Are we at 18? Oh yeah, 19 now. How is the bream not even on the page? A 5.8 bream? It's awkward. I gotta tell you, ever since we switched ground bait, it got significantly worse. I don't know if that's more to do with switching ground baits or the ingredients of the ground bait. Or it could be other factors too, I don't know. Congrats on 28, Fat Seal. So this is what we were using, but we also had peas as another additive. Kind of made it up based on what some of the higher level players were using for this spot, mixed with what I could access on a low level account, you know. Kind of made an in-between, taking what's normally in bream ground bait and then some of the ideas of what other folks I saw on... What the tench? That is one of the benefits of cottage cheese dough, is I feel like there's a little bit better chance right now of hitting the tench. Obviously, you can still get them with pea porridge, but just right now, I think they're coming in at a little higher rate on cottage cheese. That's a decent size one, but it's not quite the like 2.8 or whatever it needs to be. I don't think. Ooh, crap. Well, what did I say? I say we needed one more of those in the night, because we'd probably get one between 5 and 7. Well, there it was. $51.9 on the bottom fishing. We're getting all kinds of points on bottom fishing for some reason. 52.1. What is the next thing we unlock? At 60%, we can use a carp rod. That's significant, and that's about right. You know, if we were to keep playing, saving for caliber HSV and a Fortuna carp rod, by the time we got there, we'd certainly probably have bottom fishing up to 60%, even if we did do a, you know, decent amount of trolling as well. Is it going to be big enough? You almost want it to pull a little bit to make it so that it's bigger. So you're saying there's a chance. It is a bream. And by bream, I mean tench. Ugh. Disappointing. I mean, I like the tench, but if that had been a bream, I think it would have been big enough. It's like a 1.6 tench is about equal to a 3 kilo bream, something like that in terms of its fight. Interesting point being made in chat. Somebody's saying that they wish there's more of an incentive to go into your house. If there was, they would be more into the idea of mounting their favorite fish or whatever. So I'm sitting here trying to think, what could the incentive be into going into your house? I'm drawing a blank. How do you incentivize going into your house? I've always thought it would be cool if there was some way that you could have like a picture book in your house, where like if you could take screenshots holding your fish or whatever, and then, you know, select up to, I'm sure this would be an absolute nightmare technology wise for their server load or something, but select up to 20, 50, whatever pictures. Be so cool. It'd be even cooler if you could customize your character, you know, and you could actually be in the picture with the fish, or if you could be in a group fishing with other people and you could see the people that you're in a group with fishing, so you could take a picture with your little group and some fish or whatever. I don't know. There's some cool things you could do with it. It's not really incentivizing going in your house, but I do think it'd be cool the more you can personalize and customize things. But I don't really know what would incentivize. It's kind of like in Hunter Call the Wild. What incentivizes you to go back into your hunter lodge? You know, other than if you put just hundreds and hundreds of hours in, you want to go show it to your buddies and talk about like memories you have of this or that. You know, I don't know. It's basically you have to sort of come up with the incentives yourself. I mean, but it's a good idea. I just can't think of what would do it. What would incentivize? We need to look at just bream list. So look at this. We're at 25. This spot is absolutely amazing right now. And I guess after we catch this next fish or whatever, we're going to be done because it's 9 a.m. Although this spot is so strong, like even in the off hours, you can occasionally get a decent bream. What the crucian? I think cottage cheese is just more fun here right now. You're getting the occasional tench, occasional crucian, and a lot of big bream. I'm glad that we went to cottage cheese on 2 of our lines. I mean, I don't think you can go wrong with either cottage cheese or pea porridge right now, but I think a lot of people had switched to pea porridge, but you still saw 2 of the top 5 from today were hit on cottage cheese, so it's just interesting. Man, 76 fish in 45 or less minutes. Plus I got interrupted from the phone call when I had to restart the video or whatever. That is incredible. And the amount of bream that were over a kilo, also amazing. Missing this cafe order, not amazing. But we're going to have to cope with it. I guarantee you it's worth it to sell that tench on the cafe order. There's a lot of cool orders at Old Berg right now. I like it, but we're not going to fish another night of bream. So 151 silver plus the orders, 165. Could have been over 200 if we could have hit one more big bream, but this is a good night of silver. All right, so the question is, are we pretty much ready? 10 kilo. I think we need a classic leader as well. Out of stock here. Wait. Nope. Yeah. Okay. We're in search of a leader. I think it was at Winding, wasn't it? Isn't that where we bought the 10 kilo last time? Now, if it's not in stock here, we'll just have to check at Kuori. I'm tempted to go ahead and travel to Kuori, even though I don't know for sure that's what we're going to do next episode. I want to just sort of see about the upgrading the reel real quick. Oh, Aunt Jemima. Would it be at Belaya? I don't think it was at Mosquito. I hate to blow silver on just traveling to Belaya real quick. It's too small. I mean, if they have it, it's worth it. If they don't have it, I may stay here. If they don't have it, I'm going to have to think about what we're doing. Ooh, they don't have it. I thought they did for a second. All right, so let's just get a 7.7 just in case. And we'll go ahead and travel to Kuori. So we just spent about, I don't know, 35 silver on travel costs. You know, I should have been checking. Well, there's a 10.5. So we can at least use a mono leader, I guess. Hate to do it, but we'll do it. Nope. Yes. They have it in stock. No, they don't. Yes, they do. It costs 161 silver. Doesn't say how much time. So we'd have to save up. But might be worth doing. We'll see. Alright, we're here at Kuori. We'll see how it goes. Next episode looks like we'll be at Kuori, though. Unless I change my mind. Hey, as always, thanks for watching. And tight lines, everybody.